Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel. My name is Fatima Farmer. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So today we're going to be talking about confidence. So the first tip for building confidence is to realize that it's okay if you aren't confident right now. You know, a lot of times we like to pretend to make other people see us a certain way, so we pretend that you know, we are this pretty little package that has all the answers, has it all figured out, and that we're so confident in ourselves. And the type of confidence that I'm speaking of is the type of fake confidence that I'm speaking of, where it's like self-worship and it's physical confidence, or it's confidence based upon the way you look that day, or confidence based upon how nice your body looks in a certain outfit. That's not confidence. That's not confidence. And especially if you have to put yourself in a position where you're getting praise from not just man, like actually men, but like just outside people. When you have to get affirmation and confirmation from other people about how amazing you look and how much and how beautiful you are or how smart you are, that's not real confidence. So acknowledge that it's okay to not have real confidence, because I personally believe that if you don't have an actual connection with God, the one that created us all, how can you be genuinely confident if you don't know God? So for a long time, before I got to this stage, I was not confident. And now I can honestly say that I am. I can just see a difference in you. And people say that they can see a difference in me. And the only thing that I'm doing differently is focusing on God and not focusing so much on everyone else's opinions. It changed everything for me. So the second tip is to remember that you were designed by the best designer that there is, and that's God. So I'm going to read a few scriptures for you guys. So if you have a notebook, you definitely want to grab that and take some notes. So Ephesians chapter 2 verse 10 says, "For we are workmanship, created in Jesus Christ for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." So that's like a twofold. Not only is that telling you that we were created by God, it's also telling you that we need to live out the purpose through the path that He has created for us. We should walk in the path that He is creating for us. We have a choice in this life. We have a choice to try and figure it out and do it on our own, and we have the choice to follow God's will. But our destiny is the same, regardless if we try to do it our own way or if we try to do it God's way. Our destiny is still the same. The difference is how much time in between it's going to take you to get from point A to point B, on how resistant you are to following Him. So, but what I really want to highlight in this verse is the beginning, where it says, "For we are His workmanship, created in Jesus Christ for good works." We are His workmanship. He created us. He thought about us. And oh, this verse is so good, actually. Let me go to the next one. I'm getting ahead of myself. Getting ahead of myself, guys. No, but seriously though, this was one of the ones that I heard and I was just like, wow. Yet you have, Psalms 8, chapter 5. "Yet you have made Him a little lower than the heavenly beings and crowned Him with glory and honor." Do you hear that? Do you hear the significance of that? "Yet you have made Him a little lower than the heavenly beings and crowned Him with glory and honor." It's written right here. God turban falling off? You get so passionate, your turban just start falling off? Jesus, be a bobby pin. Be a bobby pin, Jesus. Okay. So it says right here that God created us a little lower than the heavenly beings. So in the midst of Him creating the sun and the ocean, the nature that's all around us, the beauty of the sky, He created us. He created us. He thought about us. Every detail. You know what always trips me out and what always makes me realize how amazing God is? Even before I was a Christian, I always have this thought, like, how is everything so intricately designed? all the way down to like a tiny little ant or like a bumblebee. Like every living creature has a system, has a function. And if you think to the human body, every part of our body, when I was in high school, I studied medical arts, so I'm a bit of a dork when it comes to this stuff, but our heart valves, we have 4 heart valves, and they involuntarily open and close at the perfect timing to let blood into one and out of the other and into one and out of the other. They work in perfect harmony, and that's just one example. If you think about all of the nerves and cells in our bodies and in our brains, it's like, I would always have the question, like even before I was a believer in this, I was like, well, how could we be designed so like strategically just by the big boom or evolution? Like I wasn't believing that, you know what I mean? And that was a huge push for me to like, okay, let me check this religion stuff out. So acknowledging that you are precious and special, and not only were you created intricately and beautifully designed, you were created with a purpose. You were created with a path. So acknowledge that, remember that. Take that one with you. And the third tip is to remember that the goal is to be pleasing to God, not to man. Once you realize that, it'll be easier to exude confidence because one, you're accepting that it's coming from within. You're not giving yourself all the credit for everything that's happening in your life. You're realizing that God is controlling it. God is the creator. God is the designer. He is the navigation. He's controlling every step of your path. So when realizing that, you let some of that tension off of you. You let some of those thoughts of what other people were thinking and thoughts of you're not good enough and thoughts that you can't do certain things, you let that go because you realize that you're not even in control. You have to stop giving yourself credit for so many of the things that are happening in your life. Take a step back and really realize all of the blessings that poured into your life and how you really didn't have much to do with it. You may think, okay, well, yeah, I worked hard for that car, but how did you get the job? Oh, I updated my resume and I had experience, but how did you get that experience? You have to take a step back and realize that everything is predestined in the steps that God sees it fit. Stop giving yourself so much credit for the things that you're doing, and it'll make it so much easier to walk in confidence. Galatians chapter 1 verse 10 says, "For am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? Or am I trying to please man? If I were still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ." You have to make a decision if you are trying to please man or if you're trying to please God. If you're trying to please God, you cannot continue to try to please man. It doesn't work that way. It's not work that way. That's not real confidence. That's false confidence. That's what I was talking about in the beginning of this video, where you need validation and you need approval from others and you need a pat on the back to say you're doing amazing, you look amazing. That is not real confidence. Real confidence comes from knowing God. I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that it reminds you to stop looking for self-confidence and look for God confidence. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.